Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. XRP on the daily, guys. We are continuing to see this momentum upward. Right now, XRP is trading at 51.6. Last few days have been very, very promising for the XRP chart. Let me throw it on the 4-hour. You guys can see that a little better. Take a look at this. Great momentum on the 4-hour here, guys. We're seeing higher lows. All right, higher lows here. We're seeing higher highs. All right. Got to get up past this level, this localized micro level of resistance, which is at 55.8. But really, I mean, we got a lot of work to do. There are still several levels of resistance that we need to break through in order for this bull trend to continue. Most notably this one here at 65.7. Then we got to get up past all this stuff here. You throw a Fibonacci on here just real quickly. For you guys. So we're still down pretty low, very close to that localized low for XRP. 65 in terms of former resistance. An old support here, if we can get above the 0.236, that would bring us past 68, 69 cents, give or take. If we get in this region, it is going to look even better. And guys, all this happening too as Bitcoin isn't even really moving. Bitcoin's still trading at $19,480. as of the time of this recording. So we have seen a significant bump for XRP. This has been great for us XRP holders, but you know, the rest of the crypto market fairly flat, still following Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't really moved over the summer, still hanging out at that $20,000 support level. So, I mean, it's a bit of a wait and see play at this moment in time. The economy is reacting and investors are reacting as well. This one just in from macro guru Raoul Pal, guys. He's revealing that he is still, I mean, he's always been bullish on XRP, but sometimes we like to get updates on this. He is still bullish on his XRP outlook. He said this in a recent interview, so this was just posted yesterday, October the 8th, and he said that he's bullish on XRP and he believes the case against Ripple will be resolved in the lawsuit. In a new Real Vision Finance video, Pal explains his current stance on the 6th largest crypto asset by market cap. He says, "I'm long a bit, and I think the court case does get resolved." So he's fairly positive that the court case is going to get resolved, and then the price certainly goes up. It's actually a very well-used protocol by using Metcalfe's law, not the Netcast law model. Working Money Channel. By using Metcalfe's law, it's pretty decent. The only thing is that Americans can't invest in it because it's gotten taken off exchanges. Nevertheless, this really hasn't affected the price rallying. We have seen the price rally over the last month or so, almost a month now. Americans can still buy XRP through the Uphold exchange, and I don't know if there are any others in the US right now that allow XRP trading, but I know Uphold's always been there for us. He says, but generally speaking, it does what it's supposed to be doing. It's working as a payment transmitter. I have no issue with it. There's plenty of activity on chain, and Metcalfe's law prices it appropriately to where it is today. Now, just to give you guys a bit of a sense of Metcalfe's law, it's essentially a computer model that analyzes the network effect and the value, in this particular case, the value of a cryptocurrency based on how big its network is, how interconnected its network is. And then there's a complicated calculation that gives a relative price based on the utility of the particular asset. In this case, he's referring to XRP. So that is Raoul Pal's stance on this. Wanted to thank Ian Binns just for pointing that out. And yesterday, guys, I talked a little bit about Charles Hoskinson's opinion about the SEC, calling, by and large, calling the XRP community a bunch of conspiracy theorists. And, I mean, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. If you guys didn't catch yesterday's video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. He has responded to some of these threads here. Yesterday, I did talk a little bit about this digital asset buy thread, and Charles Hoskinson responding to that yesterday. And Chris Larson's even come out to support Charles Hoskinson here. I agree with Charles on the larger point at hand. There is no regulatory clarity on how to classify and use crypto in the US, which is why the SEC is using regulation by enforcement to bring all crypto under their remit. This affects us all. And then down below, he continues by saying, separately, some may not be aware, but Charles has been instrumental in crypto plus climate initiatives, specifically researching and developing code for proof of useful work, a way for Bitcoin to become a carbon negative chain. I appreciate you engaging on this important issue. But the XRP community not having it at all. And, you know, you come after one of our own, we are not going to stand for it. I mean, all joking aside, though, I don't think Charles Hoskinson meant ill will. And I think that he kind of slipped up. I do still stand by my comment that he has to be very careful what he says. Cardano's not out of the woods. We know XRP and Ripple are currently in a lawsuit with the SEC. And so Well, and we also know that he has a history with Ethereum, although he's, I think he was only there for 6 months or something like that. So, I mean, the saga goes on. I don't really think that there's really much to talk about here. Charles Hoskinson, I think he just made a mistake, and I don't really know if he was involved in Ethereum to the extent that maybe some people are assuming he is. I mean, he wasn't there for long, but I mean, some people might disagree with that. I think some people are already actively looking up Charles Hoskinson and his connection with Ethereum. And I mean, of course, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. To be honest with you, I'm kind of sick of all this legal mumbo jumbo when it comes to not just Ripple and XRP, but cryptocurrency in general. But it is new, so I am bringing it to you guys. The other thing I wanted to mention, guys, was this from Tim Howard. So MiCA has just passed a bill in Europe today, or rather a couple days ago now. One of its conditions is that any legal coin must have a physical office in Europe. And so, as Tim points out here, this is why Ripple opened an office in Ireland about a year ago. Why is this important, guys? This brought to us by XRP Crypto Wolf. So this is just more information with regards to the MiCA regulations. From the block.co, Moody's executives say new EU MiCA regulations could unleash stablecoin innovation. So restrictions in new EU regulations could potentially serve as a booster to stablecoin innovation in Europe. European representatives recently voted to formalize markets in crypto assets, or MiCA, regulatory guidelines. Although over the past weeks, various revisions of Europe's national MiCA framework offered differing positions over stablecoin regulations. Ultimately, though, restrictions on non-Euro-backed stablecoins made their way into the regulatory guidelines. So this is big news for regulatory clarity in Europe specifically. The regulations introduced a 200 million euro, just under $194 million cap on transactions per day, non-Euro-backed stablecoins, with a final vote of the new regulations expected tomorrow, October the 10th. Executives from global bond credit rating and research firm Moody's Investor Service provide the block perspective on the forthcoming stipulations in an exclusive interview. So really kind of hammering out the stablecoin regulations in Europe specifically. Now, back to this comment here by Tim Howard. How does Ripple and XRP fit into all this? Well, there is the one thing, that document that the World Bank put out, essentially outlining a stablecoin and defining what a stablecoin was. And then right there in the description, they utilized XRP and XLM as two examples of stablecoins. Stablecoins? Yeah, that's what they said, stablecoins. And they didn't really elaborate too much on that. And so now we're seeing these stablecoin regulations coming out of MiCA for the EU. And then we also have this, guys, from Digital Asset Buy here. All eyes on this. I believe this is from Coin Bureau. Here's a quick clip from one of his videos. Listen to this.
If you watched our recent video about the leak of Europe's MiCA bill, you'll know that it appears Circle has been very involved in influencing these regulations. Say, did I mention that XRP is a top competitor to the global system that Circle and the Centre Consortium are trying to create? Nah, probably nothing. Now, if Circle is leveraging regulations, it would be nothing new. Incumbents have long used regulation to prevent competition. Goldman Sachs' CEO actually admitted this shortly after the bank invested in Circle back in 2015.
So Circle spearheading this in a large part, and Ripple and XRP, a big competitor. Is this something that we should be paying attention to very closely? Well, I personally think it is, considering they are one of the biggest competitors. So we've got this MiCA bill, XRP as a potential stable coin, XRP setting up offices in Europe, all things that make you go, Matthew L-I-N-Y here bringing this up. Also, Ripple highlighted in a cross-border payments working group document, guys, from this month, October 2022. So this is a brand new bulletin, Faster Payments Council, also talking about central bank digital currencies and their effect on cross-border faster payments. This series of bulletins is designed to educate the payments industry on the development of CBDCs in the cross-border faster payments area. The work group recognizes there are both benefits and risks with any new payment method, and this and future editions of the bulletin will provide an ongoing source of information about CBDCs and their benefits, risks, and other considerations. And down in here, they talk about some other solutions and specifically outline blockchain-based solutions with digital currencies. They say they have driven innovation and change in cross-border payments, allowing transactions to settle within seconds. Sound familiar? And then finally this, Ripple has developed a solution that allows financial institutions and payment providers from around the world to connect within a global network to send and receive payments instantly with finality and transparency. The solution leverages a blockchain ledger partnered with a digital asset, which acts as a bridge between local fiat currencies, allowing institutions to eliminate pre-funding and destination accounts, reduce operational costs, and unlock capital. So specifically outlining Ripple in this document here. Great news. Wanted to thank Matt just for posting that. And more Ripple partner news, guys. Wrath of Kahneman bringing this up from Argentina. So this has to do with Ripple partner Remedy. They plan to triple their employees this year, and they're targeting B2B opportunities. I'm just going to bring this up and translate it real quick into English. This Argentinian app to send pesos or dollars does not stop growing. It plans to invoice 400% more in 2022. And then just down here in the context, Remedy, the Argentine company that won the Accelerating Spain Award, developed an application that allows money to be sent to and from countries as well as paying for services and recharging cell phones. In 2021, we doubled our structure, and by 2022, we plan to triple the number of employees in order to continue with exponential growth. This coming from one of the co-founders of Remedy. Remedy was born 5 years ago, accompanied by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, as a solution for migrants from Latin America, democratizing access to digital financial services for unbanked people. And another quote here, in the first years, we focused on expanding our services, reaching more than 16 countries. Today, we reach more than 42 countries. So that, again, coming from the co-founder of Remedy. And they're also targeting B2B markets. And thanks to the growth of alliances, today, Remedy has more than 70 new companies that are in the process of integration, such as Remitly, Uniteller, Small World, and TerraPay. So if I'm remembering this correctly, well, I know TerraPay is a Ripple partner, and I believe Remitly is as well. Not sure about Uniteller and Small World. If you guys have any info on that, please do put it in the comment section. As you guys know, I have been clearing up the comment section. So I think we're doing a pretty good job there. Less spam bots, so we can all kind of, have a conversation there. You can also follow me on Twitter as well. I'm at WorkingMoneyCH on Twitter. Wow, almost 34,000 followers. Not bad. Wanted to keep moving though, guys. This from Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed, okay? And considering we've been talking a little bit more about the Ethereum situation now, bringing Charles Hoskinson in the mix, at Nerd Nation Unbox revealed something else. The SEC not only made a point to let the world know that Ethereum sales were not considered a security, but they also introduced a new concept, okay, to try to pin Ripple as an active participant and set the stage for future lawsuits. So essentially, the SEC really trying to mold the current legislation to try to get as much turf as they can, using Ripple as that example. Listen to this clip. He explains it a little better here.
So the evolution of that token, what it takes to go from potentially a centralized to decentralized type of structure in order to change the treatment of the token is still ambiguous. And in fact, many of the lawyers looking at the framework think that maybe they made the situation actually worse instead of better because they introduced some new concepts into the analysis, in particular a concept of what's called an active participant. And basically what the SEC has said, or the staff said in this, was that if there is a person, a combination of people, an entity, or a sponsor, somebody that is responsible for that token or involved in that token, that entity or person would be deemed to be an active participant. And if an active participant is playing a so-called essential role to the success of that project, that would indicate that you've still got an enterprise where people are investing on a collective basis, and therefore it's likely that under the so-called Howey test, there would be an investment contract. So by introducing this new concept of active participant, they in part were perhaps trying to help us decide when we went from centralized to maybe decentralized. But what they really did was force us now as lawyers to have to look at, is there an active participant? Who's the active participant? Are they operating with respect to an enterprise? So what's the enterprise? Is the function they're performing an essential one? And is that essential function directly tied to the future success of those activities?
So this new concept introduced the active participant, and I know we've heard this term, and when we talk about the lawsuit, Ripple involved, there's this argument that, well, Ripple is directly involved with XRP, and Ripple's saying, we use XRP, but there are so many other people that utilize XRP as well. Anyway, thought that was interesting with regards to the lawsuit. I still don't actually think, though, that the SEC really has a leg to stand on. if they really actually thought they were going to be successful in suing Ripple, and Ripple was ultimately going to be banned from using XRP in the context that it wants to use it in the United States, would we be seeing things like this? Okay, this just came out a couple of days ago, and I think a lot of us missed this. I don't know if someone else picked up on this. American Express elects Jay Clayton to the board of directors. The one and only Jay Clayton, the guy, the former commissioner at the SEC that brought upon the Ripple lawsuit, guys. And you guys can even see here, American Express leverages Ripple for new instant payments. So there is a connection between American Express and Ripple, and I think it goes back even before 2021 here. Yeah, these are all just articles just outlining how AMEX is connected to Ripple. AMEX touts success in Ripple X border payments. And that was from 2018. We have some here from 2017 as well. American Express joins RippleNet, giving visibility to speed and to cross-border payments. American Express, Santander team up with Ripple for cross-border payments as well. This from several years ago, 2017. So there has been a connection. And Jay Clayton, the one who actively said, hey, here's the lawsuit. I'm basically moving jobs tomorrow. Here it is, and good luck, farewell. So American Express has now elected Jay Clayton to their board of directors. They announced that Walter Joseph J. Clayton has been elected to the board of directors effective October 5th, 2022. Mr. Clayton served as the chair of the SEC. Of course, we know his history. Jay's deep regulatory and legal expertise and knowledge in financial markets, along with his extensive experience advising organizations on corporate governance matters, will make him a tremendous asset to the board. This coming from Stephen Squeri, chairman and CEO of American Express. I look forward to benefiting from his valuable perspective on our board as we execute against the company's growth plan. So boom goes the dynamite. Is this a sign that perhaps Jay Clayton is seeing that the writing's on the wall, realizes the SEC not going to win the case either, so, maybe I should join a board of directors that actively is using financial technology that is future ready, namely DLT technology running through RippleNet. So interesting news there. Conspira XRP theorist, great find here. Maybe Jay Clayton's even considering the financial outlook, the prospects. Is the legacy banking system really going to survive? Although we tried, maybe our attempts are going to fail. Consider, from Black Swan Capitalist here, there is no solution to the financial crisis without massive currency devaluation and a global monetary reset. World governments will announce that we're back on a gold standard, and this will happen overnight. Precious metals will be revalued at a higher price. Okay, so this is another headline here. Central banks to increase gold holdings over crisis concerns. Not to mention this, and I think this is great news. Data shows that 12,000 crypto projects ceased trading this year. So as we were saying, 20,000 cryptocurrency projects in the space, 99% of them, Brad Garlinghouse has been saying this since 2018, 99% are going to go to zero. Well, this just came out from NAMEX, okay? NAMEX report suggested that over 12,000 cryptocurrencies have not been traded this year. Lack of liquidity, maybe other reasons. Experts believe even good projects are struggling to sustain the bear market. But of the top 10 cryptos, XRP alone gained over 8% in the last 7 days. So them specifically highlighting XRP here as one of those cryptocurrencies that is definitely still thriving despite the 12,000 cryptos that have ceased trading this year. I think that this spells something out. I will link this in the description of the video if you want to read further. And then there was this, guys, from Mr. Blockhead on Twitter. Flip the switch. Is it time? Well, we've talked about flipping the switch for a while. And even Mr. Poole here posted this. He predicted this back in 2020. Well, we knew there was going to be a new financial system, but was there going to be a flipping of the switch moment? Well, guys, let me draw your attention to this. The Economist article, okay? This is a brand new Economist article, October 8th, 2022. Look what's right there, dead center in the middle of the cover page. A big lever, hence flipping the switch. And they don't talk about finance specifically. They mention a regime change, but basically a great reset. I mean, finance is just one part of this. A great reset, a regime change. You can see over here, there are currency symbols, including Bitcoin, the yen, the dollar, the pound, and the euro. Over here, they say a pivotal moment, the aging paradox. Is it all a debt trap? Climate investment, adding to a fiscal drag. Withering inflation, targets for the future, so all very finance related. And let me just remind you guys, who is a partial owner of The Economist magazine? Well, there's the Agnelli family. But aside from the Agnelli family, smaller shareholders in the company include Cadbury Rothschilds, who owns 21% of the magazine. So the family that owns all the central banks around the world are also putting out this magazine. Are we about to hit a flip the switch moment? And is Jay Clayton just getting his ducks in a row? That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.